coming to Cairns, my story with Cairns, I actually grew up in Sydney, and my dad was a psychiatrist, and I spent my life growing up in different psychiatric hospitals, which could explain a few things. I'm terribly well balanced. Not. Anyway, came up to Cairns when I was about 18, and I had made a very poor choice in boyfriend, and he was a bit violent, so we came. I'd broken up with him and he said, no, we'll go around Australia. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So we came up to Cairns, and I think we almost made it to the top, and then we came back down, and he, sadly, alcohol got the better of him, and I left him and went into hiding for a little while, and then came out, and I worked with Mike's Balding Builders for a while. But I loved Cairns. It was just so good. Everyone was friendly, and coming from a big city, which I was forever trying to get out of, I had a horse in Terry Hills, and I was always catching the bus to get out to the horse, just to get outside. But to be up here, I had everything, you know, it was beauty outside, friendly people, and I thought I've just found heaven once I'd escaped that relationship. And I went to Mike's Sporting, and then I went and worked out at Wild World. That's right, I was the cockatoo showgirl out at Wild World, and I was there for 3 years, did everything from cane toads to cockatoos to crocodiles. Loved it to bits. Then I had a wonderful opportunity to work with Owen Labors at the Herbal Vet Surgery. So I spent 10 years there and loved every minute of it. I had 3 children while I was working for Owen, and I was doing karate at the time because I figured after copping all that abuse I needed to learn how to defend myself, and that was wonderful. So it was a great time of my life, and enjoyed being a vet nurse, and I've always enjoyed community, and as the girls started school I wanted to be part of their lives more and more, so I ended up working at the school. It was Cairns Christian College back then, and I worked for quite a few principals there. And it was great being part of the girls' lives and knowing their friends and doing that, but I also started learning that all my administration skills that I had, because I'd left school in grade 10, my parents said to me, the only way you can leave school is if you do an admin course, a secretarial course. Best thing they ever told me to do, because that has held me instead. You know, I can type, I can do all those types of things, gave me a really good grounding. So it gave me a job. And so I'd organise the camps, all the events and the fates and all that type of thing. And all these experiences all add up in your life. And also being there, I discovered that I really enjoy working with community and kids, and all the teenagers would come to me, and you know, a lot of their stories were pretty hard, and you know, you'd go and sit with them, you know, they're cutting themselves and doing whatever, but I just enjoyed being able to make a difference in their life. So from there I started doing some contract work with Rock Impact, and they were working with Mission Australia. So I've been involved with Mission Australia for many, many years, just in doing early intervention programs. I would just facilitate everything from hip hop dance, and yes, I'm very uncoordinated, so I would only facilitate it. But the great thing with working with 8 to 12s is they don't judge you. And there's a lot to be said for that. So I'd work with them, and I also, going through different parts of my life, went through some very hard times, and later on I had 3 jobs, and I was being a PA part-time. I was driving a school bus, that's right, in the morning and the afternoons, and also running these early intervention programs, both at White Rock School and also here at Hambleton House. So it was, yeah, a pretty crazy time, but I really enjoyed working with the community. That just developed from there, discovering that we had all these kids and families that needed assistance, and then you had the service providers that were trying to connect with them but couldn't connect with them. So I thought, veterinary nurse history, let's have Pets in the Park. So that's when I used to run Pets in the Park every year, and we'd have all these crazy events with hairiest dog, fattest dog, best dressed dog, and we'd get all the service providers there, and it would bring in so many people because it was like an icebreaker. Everyone would talk to each other, so I enjoyed being engaged with community. And during some very hard times earlier on, you know, often when you're going through a hard time, by helping others, it really helps you. And I started a charity in Kenya. I visited Kenya, and I was working with some kids, and I just thought, how hard would it be to get these kids some education? So I now have an organisation called BIG, Boldly I Go. We have 40 children and they're all sponsored by people in Cairns. And I employ people over in Kenya. It's all registered with the Australian government, DGR, the whole thing. And so each month I pay the employees to organise school fees and all that type of stuff. So able to run the foundation over there, which is great, and enjoyed doing things here such as breakfast programs. Started breakfast programs at Bentley Park College, and then we went to White Rock School when I was still involved in White Rock School. Then developed about 13 other schools to run breakfast programs, and it's just so rewarding to be able to connect different parts of our community together to improve the outcomes for our kids. So that's a bit of my history and what I really love to do. And I think it was about 2015 there was an opportunity to be a counsellor, and I was like, oh, I'm not political, I can't do that. But then we had a few people, no, you don't have to be political, you're just in the community. So it was like a job interview, it wasn't an election, because as Rob Pine had gone into state politics. And so I was able to put it in expression of interest, and long story short, got the role, and it was great. I had a year to kind of figure it out, and by showing what I could do, I was able to do the job, and then just pull in a lot of people who really knew how to do the job to help me. So I got through another couple of elections, and I have to tell you that I am, to do something that I love doing so much, it's like I get paid to do all the community work that I used to do, and I can be involved in as many things and be able to assist people, and to be able to look at areas such as White Rock that has been neglected for so many years, and to be able to make improvements. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. It's like, oh, I could help that, I could fix that, I could do that. To be able to meet all different people. And we live in the most beautiful part of the world, and I've travelled a bit, and I have to tell you, there's nothing that beats Cairns. The beauty of the people. We have the most culturally diverse group and we all get on. We have over 60 different ethnic groups just in Cairns, and everyone gets on. I love attending all the cultural events and engaging with people. We have the most beautiful, we have the Great Barrier Reef, the wet tropics, and it's, here you are in like 10 minutes you're out in the bush type thing, and it's the most unique, beautiful place. I don't honestly think I could live anywhere else. So it's beautiful, and that's how I came to Cairns. I started off in White Rock Caravan Park, and here I am now, still working on the south side, and always say, Division 3, the place to be.